Everybody, today we're going over how to save your money in the most tax efficient way possible and what is the ultimate formula to make sure you're paying the least amount of taxes in your lifetime. A couple things we're going to go over today, the 3 different ways you can save money from a tax standpoint. So first thing, there are 3 ways you can save money. There's an after-tax taxable, there's a pre-tax tax-deferred, and then there is an after-tax tax-free, okay? So a couple of different ways that we can do this. This first way, after-tax taxable, this is gonna be your savings account. This could be a brokerage account. It could be a CD, right? Anything that's after-tax, whenever it grows, it's gonna get taxed along the way, either at capital gain rates or dividend rates, okay? These accounts are great for liquidity, meaning you could take money out of them whenever you want to, okay? No restrictions there, but they're not great for taxation. And right now, like I mentioned, you have capital gains, you got dividend, right? You have ordinary income for short-term gains, okay? So these get taxed very heavily depending on what kind of accounts that you are in. That's the first one. Second one is going to be your 401k and your IRA. So these are accounts that you did not pay taxes on yet. You actually saved money on taxes, put them away, and are going to grow tax deferred. But when you take them out, you're going to pay ordinary income on those taxes down the line. All right, that's the second way we can save money. The last way, after tax, tax-free, is like a Roth account. So you put money in after taxes, goes inside the Roth, and then it grows tax-free for you into the future. All right, now a couple of things here. When we look at these accounts, if you could choose and move your money around, you can have $1 million in one of these, you can move it wherever you want to. Where would you want this account moved to? If you can pick wherever you wanted it to be and shift it, you probably would choose the after-tax, tax-free, right? People tell us all the time, I'd want 100% of my money here because then I can pull it out tax-free throughout my retirement. Now, is that the right answer? Not quite. There's actually a formula here that we have to do to figure out how much money we should have in each of these categories. Now, it's a little bit different per person, but how we figure out and the rules that we follow are the same for each one. So we're gonna go over those rules and kind of things that we wanna look for to figure out how much money you might wanna keep in each of these accounts going forward. So, jumping to the next screen. Now, in our after-tax taxable account, how much money should we actually have here? Now, technically, we should have 6 to 12 months of savings, of expenses saved away into our after-tax taxable account. Anything more than that might be unnecessary there. Okay, meaning we might not be growing that money as tax efficiently as we probably can. Now, for some people, they have a very large amount of money in here. And if you do have that money in there and you're investing it, there are strategies that you can do to try and limit taxation and try and control it throughout your lifetime there. Like tax loss harvesting is one of those. We have a video on that. You can check out our channel and learn more about that there. But typically, 6 to 12 months is a good number to have here. You don't want less and you probably don't want more. But again, rule of thumb we're talking through here. The second thing, our second account here, so you got your pre-tax, tax-deferred account, like your 401ks that we mentioned. How much money do we want here? Well, technically when we get to retirement, all right, we don't want an insane amount of money in our 401ks and IRAs. We actually want enough money in here that's going to keep us in the lowest tax bracket possible. And in a lot of cases here, not just the lowest tax bracket, but maybe not paying taxes at all. You see, with these accounts, the problem with them is they have something called an RMD on them, where down the line, we're going to lose control of how much money we can take out of these accounts, and you're going to be forced to take money out whether you like it or not. So because of that rule, and what could happen here, this is at 73 or 75, we don't want to have too much money in here where now we get pushed up into higher tax brackets. That wouldn't be good for your retirement scenario. So what you might want to think about is, so you know what if we used our standard deduction, which $15,000 for single, $30,000 for married. Okay. that you have there. What if we could use that certain deduction to offset the taxation of our 401k accounts? Which you could. Which in that scenario, if you're married and you take $30,000 a year out of here, we technically won't pay taxes on the 401k because the deduction wipes out the tax bill. Now, if you have other income coming in, that's going to be there. But if you're in retirement and that's your only income source, that could be a great way to save money on taxes, is we have enough money in here, not too much, but enough to where you can take $30K out a year if you're married, $15K if you're single, without having the RMD get higher than that in your lifetime. All right, so I'm not giving you an exact number here, but it's based on that person and how much they spend and what that looks like there. And the rest of your money, everything else that you have today, ideally should be in these accounts over here, these Roth accounts. All right, from an ideal tax scenario, because now this money grows tax-free. When you take money out of here, it's tax-free. And by this being tax-free over here, this could help if you have any brokerage account money over here. Because capital gain rates, for those who don't know, if you have a capital gain tax and you're married today, and let's say you only have $70,000 of income and capital gains, your capital gains tax rate is 0% if you're married. Hence, tax-free. Now, if we go over on the exact number I memorized, I want to say it's around $92,000. You can fact check me in the comments below on what that is. Didn't memorize it for this video. But about $92,000, $94,000, that's where it jumps up to 15%. And if it's over about $500,000, it jumps up to 20%. Okay, so if we can control our taxes by having more money in our Roth accounts, it actually can help other areas of our portfolio be tax-free as well. All right, so well, folks, like and subscribe to this video. If you learned something new from it, definitely check us out at our channel. Learn more about us and how we do. We do a lot of tax planning and a lot of tax help for a lot of our clients who are entering retirement. So check us out below and learn more.